everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Ty Talks. My name is Ty Cole, and I'm the Director of Development and Alumni Relations here at the Penn State Shenango campus. I'm joined today by the fabulous Heather Heutsche. Heather, hi. How are you today?
Good. I am presently a nurse practitioner. I live in the Sharpsville area, went to Sharpsville High School, became a nurse's aide, and then from there pursued my RN. I graduated from St. Francis Nursing School in Newcastle, then went on to Penn State Shenango and finished my master's at Clarion University, and currently finishing the last year of my doctorate. I work at Advanced Nephrology Associates. We take care of renal failure and high blood pressure patients, and those on hemodialysis and needing kidney transplants. I also work part-time at Family First Urgent Care, and once a month I work at Edgewood Surgical Hospital in transfer, and I have 3 children.
Yeah, I'm unbelievable. First off, I want to say thank you for all that you've done throughout this pandemic. I think it's truly unbelievable. And I think you just listed 3 jobs right there, and you have 3 kids, and one is transferring to Penn State, right?
Yes, she starts this week.
Well, that's awesome.
She changed her major and she's a nursing major. Yeah. So here she goes. We lived with my grandparents, so it was second nature to always take care of them, and they were both from larger families. So I grew up with all of my great aunts and uncles, and of course as they aged, illness came and disease progressed, and they depended on the younger generations to care for them. So it was just a second nature void that it was just second nature that I had, and I just felt that I needed to continue this to all the others that needed help. So it was close to home, going from Sharpsville to Sharon. It was really a nice transition. The nursing program at Penn State Shenango was very flexible because they know all of us were RNs, and we were working full-time jobs and had families. So the program that they had was very adaptable for nurses like myself that needed that flexibility. And then I'm taking away with me when I graduate the Penn State degree. They also offered an amazing library that's open to the community. I spent many hours there. They have a gym there that's free for Penn State students, and you also get a discount at the Buell Club at the time. They had multiple areas all through campus that when I needed to escape my house with 3 children, there was cozy home-like study areas all through campus. And another thing that I really thought was the safety there. The security guards knew us. They were always open to walk us to our cars. They were very visible. So I felt not only am I getting a good education at a small campus where professors knew me by my name, and I had a lot of one-on-one interactions, and I grew professionally with my professors, but safety was also a big factor. I'm friends with Calvin Jordan. He has he makes a big impact on the Alumni Association. He started the motto, small campus, big heart.
Yeah.
Okay. And he thought, he actually reached out to me and asked if I'd be interested. He thought that I would maybe be able to contribute some way somehow back to Penn State. And I thought, while I was going through school trying to raise kids and work full time, I wasn't able to really participate. And now this is my opportunity to give back.
Awesome. What do you have any favorite event that the society holds or anything like that?
Yeah, well, we do meet monthly, and it's really great to see like a whole group of people like really getting excited. It's like they're like tailgating for to plan events and projects to enrich the school, the campus, former students, just to keep everybody motivated. And the golf outing was actually my first outing or my first experience with the alumni. And it was really great because not only are you meeting current students, past students, future students, but you're meeting Penn State fans and supporters, community supporters of Penn State. And you see how other volunteers, like the boys basketball team was there volunteering. And it's just, you take away, you leave happy, and you you leave that outing. I don't even play golf, but I sure as heck enjoyed myself. I learned a lot more than I thought I would, but you really get to interact with the community and see that everybody's here for a mission for our campus. So I work in different roles in healthcare through the community. I'm in clinics, I'm in urgent cares, I go to hospitals, and not only that, but my husband's a respiratory therapist, so I hear a lot of stories or his situations through not only him, but also my friends that work in other departments, long-term care, hospice, home health, and you take not only my experiences of what's going on with the pandemic, but you're also hearing what they're experiencing as well. And we're all experiencing different levels of this virus. The virus is real. It does not discriminate. It will take you if you're young, if you're old, if you're healthy, if you're not. It will take a child. It does not discriminate. It makes me feel like we're on a mental and physical war zone. We're going above and beyond what we do naturally every day before the pandemic, and we're pushing it 110% past that point. We've gone through different waves of the pandemic. When we first started, nobody really knew, and things were changing on a day-to-day basis. Policies were changing. What are we going to do now? Now the virus is changing. We're out of supplies. Creativity had to come in. Communities have come together and have really I've seen through just our community how they are supporting the healthcare providers, supporting the frontline workers, not only just in healthcare, but in the stores and the schools. I think that it is mentally and physically exhausting. We're putting on more equipment than we've ever had to wear. It's hot, it's uncomfortable. There's mask marks, our heads hurt. We can't breathe through the day. Care takes longer. Everything is a longer process because now we have to clean a different way. And then mentally, it's, we're going through fear, we're watching loss, we're grieving, we're watching death, and the mental exhaustion. Staff is there's been places where the staff COVID has hit through hospitals. So now you're working short. Am I going to be next? And then your work hours are increasing. And then, the way that I have even taken care of patients, like in the office, it used to be one-on-one. Sometimes now we have to go to telehealth. That is very difficult for a lot of patients. People don't have access to computers, to Zoom, to cell phones, to be able to FaceTime your provider, and you're missing that one-on-one interaction. And I think the most detrimental part is that families aren't able to be with their loved ones in their time of need. And knowing that you maybe saw your family member last week, but then they get COVID and they go in the hospital, and then you don't see them ever again. You need to be there at that that point in that moment of transition to death. And this virus has really limited how we're able to be with our loved ones.
Yeah, it's impactful stuff. Stuff we don't normally hear, but from your point of view, how have you coped personally, yourself?
Well, we've been through coping from the beginning and, through different seasons. So we've been through spring with it. We've been through summer with it, fall, winter, and now we're coming back into it's been a year now that we're wearing masks. And I think that it has opened me up to, as far as coping, other ways that you could still enjoy life when social things are no longer available. So through the summer, as we have taken on and looked at things in the Shenango Valley that we've overlooked and underappreciated. We would take breakfast and go sit by, the Shenango River. There's picnic tables. We'd watch the boaters and the kayakers. And I think it has really given us the opportunity to look at our own mental health. The park was packed all summer. I went to Goddard State Park. I've lived in this area my whole life. I never even knew where it was, Lake William. And there's a beautiful 13-mile bike path that you could bike or walk. And I think that it, being able to separate, your work life from your personal life, and be able to go out and take advantage of everything that we have here in the Valley. And it's also giving me the opportunity, to spend more family time, because we have to isolate more. So it's actually, I think a lot of families can say this has brought in families closer together, because we're all together now. Whereas before, when everything was active, people are going here, there, practices, restaurants, activities, sporting events, but that we kind of lost that family time, but we also gained that during this pandemic. I think the key word that you said is together. I think not only underneath our own roof, but as a community. The closer that we are as a community, the stronger the bond is that we can get through this pandemic. Just through social media, and it's very powerful. It has its negatives and it has its positives. But just through this pandemic, we've seen the Shenango Valley Good Samaritan page open up, the Shenango Valley Takeout page to help support small businesses. The Shenango Valley Chamber of Commerce has gone above and beyond, being able to use restaurants and other small businesses to give back to healthcare workers and frontline workers and first responders like police, fire, and the ambulance services. We've seen the stores kind of convert to pick up curbside methods to decrease, people's exposures. We've been checking on the elderly. We're checking on people who have lost their families, lost their jobs, and we've really kind of been helping try to support those people that have hit rock bottom. Even some places, I think it's the Shenango Valley Urban League, was giving out masks. I mean, to people that weren't able to acquire them. I think we've seen a lot of humanity come from this.
Yeah. And you mentioned together, and you mentioned the Shenango Valley Chamber of Commerce. What, didn't you receive pizza from the Chamber of Commerce, or did you?
Yes, it seemed like it started out like they were having restaurants give to healthcare organizations, and then it started to domino effect. So I also work still as a dialysis nurse once or twice a month, and our dialysis company, DCI, received food from Donna's Diner and soaps from the Maison Spa. And I just thought it was so amazing. So to give forward, then I gave to MedExpress and Hermitage. And I think from there, you just see all of this goodness coming from people, to pay it forward.
Yeah, and we talk about, what are the positives coming out of this. I definitely think that, the togetherness of this community and just kind of the world to get through this.
ASAP. I'll even take spring.
Yeah.
Can we bring it back again? Start all over? But yeah. Hopefully. We can only hope that, the more that we see the numbers go down and the masks being worn, and, we abide by the medical professionals, and they're pleading to listen to us that, this is real, and we really need to come together to decrease the transmission. And just like one last note, I think that it's amazing. I don't like to focus a lot on the negatives, because that's all you hear anymore in the media, but just in our own community, I give kudos to churches who have found ways for people to still keep their faith, and they're live streaming their services, to the schools who are adapting, and to the teachers who are finding new creative ways to still give that person-to-person classroom experience through a computer screen. And I just think that the community engagement is just huge, and that everybody is adapting so well, because we have no other choice. I started the program with Dr. Kathy Mastrian, and I have to say that the professors that I had, some may have gone and some there's new ones there, but I was under, I was taught by Dr. Maureen Dunn, Dr. Joan Humphrey, Dr. Kathy Mastrian, and also on a personal level, Dr. Donna Martzoff. She was a professor at another college. She was a very good, my very good friend's mom. All of these women were able to finish their doctorates, raise families, and still maintain employment during all of this. So I thank those 4 women for motivating me to seek my terminal degree, because if they could do it, I could do it. And hopefully I can motivate some other students, to follow this path. My greatest Penn State moment was, and I have a picture, and it's not, the picture isn't about me. It's about, I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
This is my graduation picture, and my kids are going to kill me. But when I see this picture, I see these 3. I see these 3 kids look what my mom just did. My little one's like so proud that she's holding my diploma. And I hope that someday, they're going to feel the way that I felt at that moment. And I hope they know that I did it for them too.
Yeah. Well, you're awesome. I can't thank you enough. That just, gave me my second motivation pump of the day. So thank you again for doing this. And I really appreciate you and all that you've done. And I look forward to finally meeting you in person one day.
I know, right? Hopefully.
Yeah.
If not, I have a mask. This is what I look like.
Well, Heather, thank you.
It was funny in a real quick story. Our Darren Steele's on one of our is our soon to be upcoming president of our Alumni Association. He said, "Hey, I waved you the other day at Target." Or no, TJ Maxx. I go, "Oh, that wasn't me." He goes, "Oh, with the mask, I thought it was." So.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you. I just for everything you've done for the community, and your impactfulness at the society, and